I started comfort eating when I was about 7 years old. I had suffered through sexual abuse for a few years at that point and had modeled behavior from my mom, who I could tell from a very, very early age that she thought that skinny was better and not eating was better. She took a lot of diet pills and drank diet soda. Told me that I was, when I was 5 years old, she said, "Oh, you're so lucky that you're skinny." And she would say to me, "Oh, I wish I was like you. I wish I was skinny." And um, my parents divorced when I was 3, and I kind of went back and forth between both of them at that time until I was around 7. And that's when the comfort eating really, really just took off. I felt so alone, and I felt so unwanted. I felt so hurt that food was the only thing that I could take comfort in. I couldn't talk to anyone. Music was also my thing. Writing songs was my thing, but food provided that instant gratification. It was always there for me. It always made me feel good. It always made me feel better. And it always pissed my mom off like crazy. She lived a block away, and I rarely saw her, but the times that I did see her, she'd come over and my dad would be allowing me to have fried mozzarella sticks or something. We were, Italian. And I just remember her being so pissed off. And just, she'd walk down the street and see me outside eating at 7 and 8 years old. Instead of saying hi to me, instead of, caring that she's seeing her daughter that she rarely sees, she started screaming at my dad that he was allowing me to eat that and that I was going to get fat. That was like, the word fat was always such a bad word in my house. Like, my dad was kind of okay with me eating, except when I started gaining weight when I was around 9 years old is when he started putting me on these crazy diets. Like my doctor would have that chart where he would like go up, and I was so off the charts at 9 years old. And of course he let me know that at 9 years old. I was absolutely horrendously fat at 9 years old. But I wasn't. I mean, like, looking back on pictures now, I'm like, what were you talking about? I was not fat. I was like, I wasn't skinny, but I was not fat. I mean, when I was 11 years old, I weighed 130 pounds and I was 5'2". So I don't consider that being fat or like morbidly obese to the point where my doctor needed to tell me about how fat I was and I needed to be on crazy diets. So my dad put me on these crazy diets, and I would lose weight and gain weight and lose weight and gain weight and lose weight and gain weight. But food was always like, food was the thing that I could turn to because I never had anyone that I felt that I could turn to. So food was like, hey, you're here and you love me and you're not going to go away and you're not going to talk badly about me. You're going to give me comfort, And so when I was 14, well, when I was 9, I started being bulimic. So I would, binge and purge like crazy for years and years and years. I didn't stop. I didn't stop being bulimic until I was about 19 years old. So it's about 10 years of being bulimic and hating myself, like literally hating myself. Because people would tell me how ugly I was because I was fat. But the thing is that I was kind of like, good. Then less people will abuse me sexually because you're telling me that I'm fat. Good, go away. Like that was also my way of protecting myself from being abused sexually, because my dad would always complain. The more weight that I gained, he'd complain, and he'd abuse me more physically than sexually the more that I gained weight. And I was okay with that because I could handle physical abuse. I could handle the verbal abuse, but the sexual abuse was like crazy. And so it was just easier to be fat. But I hated myself, and I wanted to be who I was, and I wanted to love myself, but I also wanted to keep myself safe. So it was hard. It was hard because, I wanted to be I worked on my body. I worked out. I ate healthy because I loved doing that because it made me feel good. But then the abuse would start. Then I'd get the unwanted attention, and then I'd gain it all back again. So when I was like 12, I'd go from like 200 pounds to 140 to 200 to 140 to 200 to 150. Crazy, 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 like up and down and up and down and up and down. It's been a lifelong journey. And now, of course, I mean, now, you know, I am at the point where, and if you're at this point too, where I'm just trying, like, I'm just loving me for me and trying to get over that hurt, get over that pain, get over all of that abuse does to you, and just love myself for me. Yeah, of course, you know, of course I want to be healthy. I want, you know, but it doesn't start with food. It doesn't start with any of that. Like, it's a lifelong process, you know, to love yourself and to know that you are worthy. And I mean, yeah, I am absolutely there, and I can love myself. Like, I used to look in the mirror, and no matter what weight I was, I mean, I was anorexic at a point. I was eating 200 calories per day, to the point where when I would lay down on the floor, my ribs would hurt because it hurts so bad to like have my ribs be on the floor. It was just crazy. And, you know, even at that point in my life, it didn't matter. It didn't matter that I was skinny. It didn't matter that I wasn't eating. Like, I still didn't like myself. The truth is that you'll never be happy with who you are, no matter what weight you are. If you're not happy with yourself and you don't love yourself, that's the most important thing, because you'll always see yourself at that weight. So if this resonates with you, let me know. I love sharing my journey, and I hope that this helps and inspires you. And yeah, have a great day. Thank you for letting me share. And if you understand this in any way, please drop a comment down below. Let me know that you do. See ya.